There we go. Welcome to the Across the Cowboys podcast. We got Brenden going already. Paul's not with us today. Unfortunately, he watched the press conference and was like, I need a day. I need a day to like get through this. So I'm here at CD Piglet on Twitter. Brendan's here.
At Brenden_Smith26.
There we go. Give Paul a follow at Paul_Ryan15. And I don't give the long, cool intros. Thank you for coming back and listening. And let's start talking about it because now we have stuff to talk about. We got draft upcoming. We got the press conference. We got all that going. So let's get rolling on it. Well, where are we starting, Brenden?
We're starting off with the games we saw yesterday. What are your NFL thoughts?
To be honest, my NFL thoughts are based on the press conference because it was a lot.
Well, hey, we got a lot of footballs. We had a lot of that, so you can go with whatever one you want.
Steven and Jerry, I just can't see us winning with them. God, they're just so bad, and they arrogantly think they're good. That's the worst. The worst part about it is that they think they're amazing at it. And they're air quoting we haven't won in 30 years. I'm like, yeah, you haven't won. What are you air quoting for? And Jerry with I'm the best at this and nobody works as hard as me at trying to build. And I'm like, Howie Roseman's in your division. Like, what do you mean? It was frustrating to watch. I really have a problem with people. Like, I have one big trigger point, and it's people trying to con me. I really, it makes me mad. And so I don't like watching Jerry, but I had to watch because I wanted to hear Schotty, and I was very mad. I was live tweeting it angry or live Xing it, whatever it is. And that was my NFL thought for today, that just they're bad. Just the Joneses, not Schotty, but the Joneses are bad.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into that in great detail later. My NFL thoughts are the NFL's boring. Are you cool? The Chiefs are back at it again, and then the Eagles, guess what? America has fallen. Satan has won. Dude, what the hell? Who asked for this? No one. No one in their right mind. And then it's so funny to see certain Cowboy fans you really want the three-peat? You're damn right I want the three-peat. Do you really want to see Nick Sirianni hoisting the Lombardi? So if the Chiefs win, they get 3 Super Bowls in a row. They won 4 in 5 years. Holy hell. They're dominant. So we're seeing history, and they'll act like it. If Philly wins, they'll act like they've won it the past 5 years in a row. Their fans will act like they've been the most dominant team since the Patriots, and the Chiefs aren't a thing. Dude, they're not going to act like they've been there before. All this shit. It's just so annoying. And it's just the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I will not. This isn't even a question. This is easy, Kansas City. I'm not. I don't even entertain the thought. I will actively cheer for Kansas City.
See, I'm a little worried if my friends are going to want to watch football, watch the Super Bowl. Because one of my friends, she's an Eagles fan, so I already have been having to deal with that. Then my other friend's a Broncos fan, so he doesn't want the Chiefs to win. So he's probably going to go for Philly. And someone's like, oh, God.
I'm like, I don't watch it with them. You avoid it.
I'm just going to be depressed, and it's holding some bourbon and just being sad on the couch. That's how this is all going to go.
My friends are Niner fans, and they hate Kansas City because they beat them, and everything.
Yeah.
And they're fully against, and they're like, oh, you can't, three-peat. Nobody's done it. Who cares if Eagles win? I'm like, no, dude. You will never try to convince me that I'm going to go for Philly. That ain't never going to happen.
It's just disgusting. It's so funny. There's now all these videos coming out, what the fans did, some Washington fans after the game. I'm like, are you shocked? Are you? No. There's bad people in every fan base. There's no fan base oh my God, they're so nice. They're doing all this. No.
But Philly got the worst.
Dude, they're so shitty. I know. And my friend, like I said, she's an Eagles fan. She's nice. I found one of the outliers. She's not a bad person at all. And that's good. But you see all these videos. You see all these, you see all these videos, and you're like, dude, like who? No one wants you to be here. Like, get the fuck out. All right. Well, did the better teams win yesterday?
Yeah, you had the Eagles have the best roster in the NFL and the healthiest, and the Kansas City has the best coach quarterback combo. And I thought Kansas City's roster was better than Bill's too. Like Josh Allen did a lot of heavy lifting this year for Buffalo. So yeah, I picked Eagles to beat Commanders rather like by a few scores. So I wasn't shocked by that. And I had Kansas City winning close, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Buffalo won either way. So, yeah, the two best teams won.
By far. Also, no one's really talking about the weapons that have gotten healthy for KC. They have DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown is back. And then Xavier Worthy is playing like a bigger receiver than what he is. That big jump ball, was it an interception? Was it not? It doesn't matter. He wrestled the ball away, and that call always goes to the offensive player. And he went up for it. That's a rookie. You got Travis Kelce as a blanket. They have weapons that no one's talking about, and it's kind of annoying. It's like, oh, Mahomes is doing it all. No, he's not. Josh Allen was running for his life every time because Chris Jones and everyone was just beating the hell out of the Buffalo's offensive line.
Me
just
too.
Were turnovers the only thing keeping Washington from potentially winning their game?
No, they couldn't stop Saquon. In any of the three matches, they couldn't stop the run. And this is not a shot on Dan Quinn thing. That just happened. He's had the issues with run stopping in the playoffs and everything, and it reared its head again. Like he went like 140 and 2 touchdowns, then over 150 and 2 touchdowns. In the playoff game, the first run, 60-yard touchdown. Like you have to show you can do something different. And then they, I don't know if they went all in to like stop Saquon or just put everybody up at the line, but Jalen Hurts cut him up pretty bad too. So, yeah, I mean, the turnovers made it a blowout, but the Eagles could have easily won regardless.
Philly was going to win. Like I was wanting chaos because, of course, what if we just get Buffalo, Washington? Like, oh look, it's all new. Look at that, woo! Like, no, were those two first fumbles heartbreaking? Like I would have thrown up. Yes, this is the way they have. Like I said the same thing with Bo Nix. They didn't lose because of Jaden Daniels. Like
no,
I'm saying like the rookie quarterbacks in the like, did they both look like they got their ass kicked? Yeah. If you look at the score, dude, they looked good. And also, imagine, dude, if Dallas went an 18-play drive, went for it on 4th down twice, and we get 3, just to see Saquon take it for the house on one play, I would throw up. Like, I would be legit on the ground, just depressed. Like, okay, my team fought for their lives, and then Philly made it look like it was nothing. Like,
yeah, it would have felt pretty gross.
Saquon is so damn good, and it just makes me sad because dude, the Giants are just now getting made fun of everywhere. Have you seen the drama between Kayvon Thibodeau and Dez?
No, I haven't. That's weird too because I follow Dez. Dez also follows me. Thank you.
No, so apparently, like, Kayvon has come out and said, like, any person going after the Giants, I'm not gonna have it. And so Dez has been on the Giants' ass, rightfully so, for not paying Saquon. And so they've been going at it. Dez has called Kayvon a bust / a nobody. He's just going to town.
Yeah, Kayvon's a good player, man. Better watch it.
And then Kayvon's called out Dez saying, well, why haven't you retired yet? Like, if we called you and said, hey, you'll have a workout, you would show up here in a heartbeat. And Dez's like, no, why the hell would I do that? It's just funny. Does Philly or Washington scare you more moving forward?
Philly. Howie Roseman. He's shown so many times that he knows how to build a team, and I hear about the cap's gonna catch up. The cat's gonna catch up. but they just like Saquon Barkley cost them like $1 million this year. Like, even though he signed one of the biggest contracts and everything, it only cost him $1 million because they just push it. So when Saquon's money comes in, they'll sign the next guy and go, hey, this is going to be $1 million. And then the cap keeps going up. They keep pushing it, and they're able to keep reloading, and they've shown the ability and that they don't have the fear to do that. Washington, has the better QB, I'd say, already, and the better head coach, but we don't know if they know how to spend all their money yet. We got to see, like, no offense, but giving Dorrance Armstrong $10 million and Biotish, how much they did, that's a lot for like decent starters. But what happens in 4 years when those bills start coming up, and can you replace them in the draft? Can you sign like bigger guys, or are you going to keep getting like these okay guys that we know and will overpay for them to come over here? So we got to see from there. So I'm saying Philly.
No, I couldn't agree more. Does watching what they did against Detroit scare me? Well, yeah, they went to the number 1 seed in their house and beat their ass. Like, yeah, that does. They don't have the, like, as you easily saw, they didn't have the roster. I know they're in year 1 of their rebuild, although they have their quarterback as a first-year head coach and all that. Okay, and they got their ass beat. Like, we'll see what they can actually do in free agency, but I feel like they're going to go for like they'll go for a bunch of free agents, but a lot of mid-tier contracts and under. I don't see them going after anyone big. They got lucky that Bobby Wagner's towards the end of his career, and so that's why he signed for pennies on the dollar. Bobby Wagner should have been a Cowboy, but we don't talk about that anymore.
Don't even get me started.
They signed him and Frankie Louvu. Just think about that. So, watching that did hurt, but no, it's Philly. Their roster building, come on. Jalen Hurts' contract is going to get up. They're not going to pay him again. They'll have another quarterback waiting in the wing who's just going to be able to run the offense because Devontae Smith will still be near his prime, and then A.J. Brown will be gone. They'll find someone else.
Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll move on while A.J. Brown's at a high. They'll trade him for a second or something. And everybody will be like, damn, a second for A.J. Brown. Man, I don't know. I would have kept him, this and that. And then they'll draft a wide receiver in the first round to pair with Devontae Smith and have that guy cheap for 5 years. Yeah.
No, just imagine this. So, like, let's just say, like, the Super Bowl comes around. Philly loses because, like, their safeties couldn't guard the deep ball. And, oh, man, what are they going to do? Oh, wow, Buda Baker's now an Eagle.
Yeah.
They saw their biggest need, and they got a great player for it. Couldn't be us, because you know what I really want to do? Anytime I say anything, I just want to be using air quotes in everything I say.
God.
Because we haven't been in a drought at all. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
He air quoted a drought. Like a fact. He air quoted a fact. But
1995 was 5 years ago, dude. I don't know why you're thinking Dallas needs to win again. Come on. Was the botch fourth down call by the refs the difference maker in the Chiefs-Bills game?
No. I don't think so. When I look at it, you had 3 minutes, 30 seconds left, 3 timeouts. You had the ball down by 3.
No, they're talking about when Paul made the sheet. He's talking about the QB sneak where Josh Allen got stuffed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Later on in the game, Buffalo got the ball back, 3:30 left with 3 timeouts.
Oh, my bad.
Only down 3, and they had a chance to win it, and they didn't win it. Like, go down and win that. Go down and at least get a field goal. But no, I can't put it on that call because what does that call mean? Okay, they have a first down. What does that mean? Do they score? Do they turn it over? Do they – you know what I mean? Like, it's not definitive enough. Definitive is – your defense held them to a field goal at the end. Shout out Jordan Phillips, who was on our team to start the year. And is it Jordan Phillips? I think so. But then you get the ball back. You have plenty of time. You have 3 timeouts. You have everything you need. Go win the game. And they botched that. That was their issue. That cost them the game.
I can't believe that Dalton Kincaid is getting, like, butchered for it. Should he have caught it? Yes, you were an NFL star. I can't say star because it's a second-year player, but you're an NFL caliber player, and the ball did hit you in the hand. Do you know how much concentration that takes? It's fourth down. You're running around to see Josh Allen move, and you have 4 defenders all around you. Like, that is a tough-ass catch. That's going to be one of the catches of the year if he comes down with that.
That would have been play of the year. That would have been play of the year. That throw against that blitz, that catch would have been play of the year.
It sucks. You shouldn't have thrown it 4 straight times.
Yep.
They made it obvious. Well, with a 7-6 playoff record, what is Josh Allen's legacy as of today?
I feel like he's where Peyton Manning was when he couldn't get past Brady. Like, everybody knows he's great. Everybody knows he's up there, with the top guys. If he would have won 2 of the last 5 Super Bowls, he'd be up there talking about Patrick Mahomes is the best in the league. He just has to get over that hump. He just has to finally get over that hump of beating Kansas City and getting to a Super Bowl. So, it's not like Herbert where, or Trevor Lawrence, where there were like super high picks that were supposed to be like the pedigree. And when Josh Allen was the 7th pick, I think, from Wyoming, it was a lot of questions. Is he Jay Cutler or can he be more than that? And he's been great. He was probably the best quarterback in football this year, and with what he did and the low turnovers with the weapons, not like, he didn't have a high level of passing weapons, so I got to give him credit. I think he's the second best quarterback going right now, and I think he's a Super Bowl away from people being able to argue him as the best, especially if he keeps his turnovers down.
Yeah. I do feel bad for Josh Allen because it's how the media treats him compared to others. It makes me want to bash him. It does. But
same.
It's the AFC championship game. We're about to see a team maybe 3-peat. Okay, so that means Joe Burrow hasn't made it to the Super Bowl. I know since 2022. But we haven't seen them. We haven't seen Lamar make it. That's because Mahomes is just there every damn time. So We're watching straight dominance here. But you also got a simple fact of if Dak made the NFC Championship game multiple times and didn't make the Super Bowl, it's just he can't win the big game. He can't get – good job. You beat the Broncos. Then you beat the Ravens whenever they just didn't want to run the ball for some effing odd reason.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's I think it'll discredit him, but it's not his fault. His offensive line got destroyed. Keon Coleman couldn't separate worth of shit. That was bad for a rookie. Amari was fine. I'm surprised Amari honestly did anything in cold weather. So it makes me more pissed about the Jets game from years ago. But yeah, the Chiefs are the team to beat. They are. You can look at it as evil. I said boring earlier. They're just there. Bad calls are not.
I agree.
It's just what they do. Is the approach to free agency the only difference between the Cowboys and the 4 teams that played yesterday?
Yes, but improved coaching couldn't hurt. That's the other thing. It's a mix of that. If we were really great in free agency, would the coaching matter as much? No. But there's a balance. If you're the Eagles level where you push $90 million cap space back a few years and you're a badass at every position basically, then you're coaching. You could have Nick Sirianni and Moore's fine. I think Kellen Moore gets a bad rap. He was a good play caller. He wasn't maybe a good game planner, but he was a good play caller. But I think it would be too much for us to ask to be the Eagles in free agency. But say we were the Niners, somebody that made a 1 or 2 moves every year or two to make sure that they stay up there, but then had Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh as coaches. Then I could see us as, okay, we're going to be in their range. But the problem is we don't have coaches like Saleh or Shanahan. We don't build teams like Eagles And so we always come up behind them because we're stuck in those. If we could do one of those two things, we would be right there.
So, like, I don't think it is just like, even if Dallas signed, I think it would be like middle of the road free agents. If they did like sign a bunch, it'd be a whole bunch of just middle of the road guys. It's their philosophy to just want to be the smartest people in the room. They want to, like, oh, if it's like, I'm going to say something, but you know what? Why I'm going to say this? Because Mike would never think about this. Mike would never think I was going to say this, and I would come and I'm like, oh, you're just an idiot. Like, why would you say that? It's like, oh, because I was trying to outsmart. Like, dude, it's the entire league. They know, like, you can't outsmart the entire league. You just have to be better.
That's what makes me angry about them is they're the dumbest, like, one of the bottom GM ran teams. Great owner, terrible GM, but he always comes out talking like chest out. Who could do it better than me? Well, fucking everybody right now. You're the only team in the NFC that hasn't been there in 30 years. So everybody is building a better team / coaching staff than you are right now. But you got to hear them. Nobody can do it like I can. What, badly?
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on the Schottenheimer's press conference?
Schotty sounded good. But then the Joneses spoke, and you were like, okay, it's going to be – there's only so much Schottenheimer can do with the roster he has right now. Like, they don't have a roster that can compete with Detroit, San Francisco, Philadelphia when they're healthy. They don't have the and we might beat Philadelphia in a game because we're really good versus division. But that doesn't mean – when I mean compete, I mean when Philly plays Buffalo and Baltimore, they could beat them. When we play those good teams, we get our ass beat. That's what I mean by competing. Like, we're in the range of them. We could go up against anybody like they can and beat them, and we can't do that. So
I'm going to go strictly off of Schottenheimer himself because that's what the press conference should have been about, about your actual head coach. I think he said the right things. The players do love him. As you saw multiple players at the press conference, Brock Hoffman, Dak Prescott. But, like, I don't trust it. Like, dude, you can search up, like, what do NFL fans want? Or you can go on Twitter and, like, what are we complaining about? And you could be, like, just hammering this all through, like, the 2 days before, and you can say everything, like, our offense is going to do this. We're going to have motion. Our offense is going to, like, our passing game's going to go with our run game. Like, everything's going to complement themselves. Dude, this sounds great, man. We're going to have the next best offense. Like, look at this. He's doing everything that we need. Well, no shit. I can say this. I can go on an effing press conference and say, hey, my team's going to do this and that. And they're like, oh, shit. No. It's if you know the fan base and you know what we're complaining about, it's easy. Jerry, for God's sake, could be like, hey, this is your pointers. Later on in August, we're going to talk about this. You're not using any of this shit. But this is what you're going to say we're going to do. I don't trust it. I'll get more into the Joneses. Yeah, I'll get more into the Joneses in a little bit. That's like a little, But do you believe Schottenheimer is a Dak hire?
I think they're like they do with contracts. I think they're setting up Dak to be the scapegoat. Like, we can't sign any free agents. We signed, Dak's making all that money. Well, yeah, you could have. Like, you could. You choose not to. You choose not to do the things you have to do to sign players when you have a big money QB contract. So it's really you. You're just getting the gullible part of the fan base to hate a player. And this feels like the same thing. Well, we needed continuity. We didn't want to switch Dak's offense, this, that. No, Dak, you know how many quarterbacks switch offenses and everything and are just fine? You'll be all right. Like, you can do it. They could have went out and got the best coach available. They have the money to. They can pay. There's no salary cap on that. And they didn't. And I hope Schottenheimer's great. Don't get me wrong. I hope he ends up being a badass. But it just, they're just using Dak as a scapegoat like they try to do all the time.
The thing is, so I saw people talking about it before the press conference about how this is a Dak hire, but then Jerry Jones did specifically come out and say this was them hire. This is what he wanted and all that. So the straight off answer, it's a no. But Dak wanted McCarthy. All these players wanted McCarthy back. Micah wanted McCarthy back because then you wouldn't have lost Al Harris and you wouldn't have lost Bones Fossil, which Al Harris going to Chicago. I love that. I love that so much. Jalen Johnson is going to be a lot more fun to watch because of Al Harris there. So that's a huge loss. I didn't know who Eberflus is going to bring in, but yeah. So it's not a Dak hire, but I'm sorry if he got a 4-year deal. To be honest with you, I thought I was going to get a 3 and go with the rest of Dak's contract, but no. Technically, he could be here for 1 year after, and the heir apparent is not on the coaching staff yet.
Witten will be there. Don't worry.
They said he won't be at least this year.
Not this season, but he'll get there. They're not going to fire Schottenheimer. They didn't fire Mike after Green Bay. They're not firing Schottenheimer, so there's no hurry to get Witten on there. He can get on there next year and have a few years to build.
That's fair. That's fair. Was it good to see a hire enough to make you feel better about our new coaching staff?
If we get a good offensive coordinator with Eberflus and the Niner defensive coordinator that became our special teams coordinator that was with Schottenheimer a few years back in Seattle, that's decent. Eberflus is good. We got to see if his defense holds up to nowadays. You know, is there enough fooling, changing coverage and stuff like that messes with them, that messes with offenses to be competitive against the best teams? I don't know, but he's a good coordinator. So if you get the right OC, your coaching would be good, but Joneses are still in the front office. Will they let you, use what they call trick plays, motion and modernize the offense? Will they pay for free agents? Will they miss in the draft? Because now, after the last 2 seasons, that's kind of a question now. Will we even hit our draft picks? Or will it be we have a huge hole, so in the first round we got to do what we got to do to fill the hole and hope the draft pick hits instead of just taking the best player?
Honestly, I have no idea. I feel like whatever they're going to do, it's still just going to be a heavily run team. So if you can get a guy who can actually do the run scheme better than, of course, our shit show the past 3 seasons have been. It still looks like it's going to be inside zone from what Schotty did in Seattle, which is, yay. You got to hope your interior can actually move defensive linemen. All in all, this coaching staff won't do much for me. I don't think they're going to be here that long.
You think they're going to fire him?
Well, not after one season, no. Because even if, I still have a surprise, making the playoffs. Because if we're healthy, we'll make the playoffs. Because the NFC isn't strong. And they're like, oh, look, first year, you made the playoffs. How can we fire? You're going to get your ass kicked in the wild card round. But still, you made the playoffs. Look, first year head coach doing that. This is what you wanted. You saw Dan Quinn do it last year. Why wouldn't you want this? But, 2 years, maybe a third, if Dak is hurt and season after, and then they'll use that as an excuse. But I don't really see much. Who would you like to see as the OC?
So the word is Clayton Adams, who is the OC coach in Arizona, is a front runner that they're interviewing for it, and I would love that hire. The Cardinals have had a bad offensive line for a long time, and it has cost them forever. And this year, I know you got a tweet about this. I don't have everything from that tweet written down, but I had a couple things lined up for the pod when P. Will sent that to you. But they were the 4th in rushing this year. Arizona with James Conner. They were 2nd in yards per attempt at 5 yards, 5 or 5.2. I think it was 5, but they were 2nd in yards per attempt. They led the league with most 20-yard runs. They had 23 20-yard runs. They're one of only 3 teams to have done that ever, or in the last 10 years. Sorry. So, this with the Cardinals. He wasn't joining the Rams that have done it for a long time. When has the Cardinals been good? offensive line and running. They don't have an elite back. They don't have an elite offensive line. And he helped maneuver that. And they had a rookie right tackle playing as well for their team. So, and him being able to step in and play like they did, they made me eat Red Baron, the bastards. That's coming up. That's about 6 weeks out. So, yeah, I would love him, and it would bring like the Red Baron thing full circle. So, Clayton Adams, O-line coach for Arizona. Remember, this guy's not calling plays. Schottenheimer's calling plays. So this guy's just coming in to set up a part of your offense, and he'll probably control the run game portion.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I didn't really answer this question, because of, like, besides the fact I don't think they're going to be here that long. It's all going to be for the run game. Whoever they bring the OC in, it's for the run game. Like, it's going to be the running game coordinator, basically. That's what it's going to be. Sure. Whatever all this is going to be a person getting a promotion to say OC, but they're all just going to try to help the run game. That's all it is. So you better get a running back. You better. Dude, it's going to be GNT. It's going to be. Like, I would be so
Have I not had a bad day already? Have I not had a bad enough day having to listen to Jerry Jones talk? You got to tell me we're going to spend a first-round pick on a running back on one of the deepest running back drafts. And you can get an easy, like, Pro Bowl level running back in the third round, and we're going to use it.
Do you really, like, outside the first, do you really trust them to draft a running back? They're going to take a guy you've never heard of somehow, even with this class. You're going to draft someone you never heard of.
You get to the
fifth round.
You get your wide receiver, you get your DT, and then in the third round, Harvey from UCF will be there. Explosive runner, perfect complement to a Rico-type player. Devin Neal? Man, I need
that's from Kansas.
Okay, thank you. Devin Neal, Kansas. For some reason, it don't matter. I'm not going to get into it, but Devin Neal is another one that should be third. And then imagine if like a Travion Henderson drops, because so many people, like, there's so many running backs. I don't expect him to get in the third, but if he did, man, get your running back in the third round. Leave my first round to wide receiver, defensive tackle.
The only thing I like, besides because this team doesn't need multiple things to get me going, and all that
needs like 6-7 starters.
Yeah. The only reason why the running back in the first, besides it just being like a legit plug and play, okay, cool, we have a superstar, is the simple fact of you put him on his fifth year, that 5th year shit, and then guess what? You don't re-sign him. You got him for 5 years, because he'll be run down by then. That's how Dallas does it.
I hate it so much. No, they don't. I wish they did. But what they're going to do is it's going to be a first-round pick. So they're going to go, well, we have to pay him because we need to get 8 to 10 years out of our first-round picks because we don't want to pay players like outside. So they're going to end up signing Genty, who's smaller and has a shit ton of carries on him already, a top 5 player in the draft. He's a beast. I just don't want Dallas to sign him. My ideal is that he's drafted before we get to him, so we don't even have to worry about that decision.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll get to a little more positive. We can go with Mike's view from the sideline. What should we expect out of Eberflus's defense?
Very Dan Quinn-like. He leads the league in turnovers often. He on the Bears last year, I think the Bears, he's the head coach, but he is the defensive guy, and I'm pretty sure they led the league in turnovers. He's always been good stopping the run. The last time he was a DC, he was Colts, and 3 out of the 4 years there, he was a top 10 run defense. Very good with linebackers, which is good for us because we have very, very young linebacker core right now. And the one thing that worries me about him is he's not a blitzer, and he's not a big disguiser. He's kind of like, our front 4 guys are going to get there, and we're going to play our style in the back, San Francisco 49ers style. And if you don't have enough talent, that's not going to work. And right now, yikes. I love him as a DC, though. I really do. He's a good DC. I just worry about him on our team currently, the way it's constructed.
Well, does Dallas have the pieces in place to have Eberflus having a successful year one?
That's a no. First off, he has to have good DT play. And not like We're talking like Osa would have to take a step. Like the pressures and stuff will have to become sacks, tackles for loss. And then he needs a legit, like with Eberflus as your DC, one of your picks in the top 50's got to be a DT. Even if you re-sign Osa, you got to have a guy that is a monster, a Kenneth Grant from Michigan, a Derek Harmon, my guy, from Oregon, Mason Graham, if he somehow fell from Michigan, you just take him instantly. Man, I'm missing Williams, what school he's from, but he's another beast. This is the draft to get one early. You got to get him in, I think, in the top 50 is your best bet. But then you need linebacker depth. You need another corner because Diggs, if he comes back, is likely not going to be the same guy, which is why they need to sign DaRon Bland immediately and then just worry about, hey, if we got to get out of that contract, we got to get out of it. But DaRon Bland should be signed like ASAP. He should be up there with Micah on importance of signing. But they need a lot of pieces before Eberflus can really make his defense a top-end unit.
Yeah, well, I'll go to that with Brenden Bashing, which I will go honestly, other than 2 offensive linemen, this has been my usual go-to for Brenden Bashing. It's the Joneses. I'll go off the press conference, in which I can go in a little bit more detail. It is already 36 minutes in. Dude, I've been alive for almost 22 years. I'm almost 22 years old. Like, you try to think, like, hey, that's a good amount of time, like, on this earth. Like, I've seen the Rangers win the World Series. I didn't really watch the Mavericks, but I saw my dad and I watched the Mavs win the NBA Finals. The Stars have been really, really competitive the past couple of years. I've seen Dallas do jack shit. I've seen them do nothing. But Jerry and Stephen Jones like to think they're geniuses, and we're all just idiots. Like, we're all brain dead puppets that we hear, oh, hey, we'll be winning. Oh, you will? And then everything goes perfect. Like, because when we put effing air quotes, like, some people have said we're in a drought. So, only a certain amount of people have said that, and it's not true at all. He legit looks like it. Like, what dipshit said that? And are you shitting me? You haven't made the NFC Championship game since the 90s. Like, what do you want? My parents were like, sounds mean to call my parents old, but like, my parents were super young into their marriage and shit when they last won the Super Bowl, and my parents have been married for over 30 years. Into 30 years now. Like, dude. What the hell? And they're acting, hey, you know what? We'll reevaluate how we do free agency. Bullshit. No, it's Stephon Diggs is coming to Dallas. It's not like, oh, it might happen. It's going to happen because they're gonna be able to spin it. Former All-Pro. Look at this. We're helping Dak, and all. Cool. Old wide receiver who tore his ACL. Great. I can't wait to see the separation with that in this offense. Who's gonna be running the ball heavily? It's going to be so great because Stephon Diggs is going to love not getting the ball that much since CeeDee Lamb is the dude here. That's going to go great. That'll be our one big signing. I don't even know what defender we'll sign. We'll bring back Eric Kendricks, and then that's our big offseason. What the hell does that do? Like, what does that do? They're not going to look at cornerback, which you desperately need. Jordan Lewis is gone. I bet he goes to Chicago because he loves Al Harris. Respectfully. Jordan Lewis, you fought your ass off, dude. You've been playing well here. You go try to win somewhere else. I'm sorry you're going to Chicago because they usually don't do jack anything. But, like, go with B.L. Harris. Go get the contract. Osa's going to be gone.
So just so you know, the Bears have been to an NFC Championship game 15 years earlier than Dallas. So
yeah, no, I know. I'm talking about just like in normal time. But, like, so your cornerback room is going to be Trayvon Diggs is going to be on IR. So it's going to be DaRon Bland and Kalen Carson, and you have Izzy's a free agent too. Like, who the hell do you have?
They're bringing back Izzy. That's going to be their slot guy. They're going to bring back Izzy for a veteran minimum, and he'll be our third corner. It's
just that they love, like I said, I can't watch their press conferences anymore. all respect to, like, I've talked about Tom Downey on this show plenty of times because I just love him. Like, all of his energy, it's no bullshit. Like, he will be pissed off when it needs to be and all that. So I just watched it. I just let him do like the review of it. I can't listen to Stephen Jones. Like, I legit like just get pissed. My worst nightmare is to have to go against a team. Have a team that would have Stephen Jones as general manager, Nick Sirianni as a head coach. I wouldn't know who I want to punch more, like punch in the face more than those two. That's like a nightmare. It's just, it's so shit. Dude, it's like I said, it's the way they talk. And they act like 1995 was 3 years ago. Like, oh, why would we want to win? We did that so long ago. We're just down to try to make money and we'll recoup and try to win later on.
You don't think I take risks? 4 decades ago, I bought the Dallas Cowboys.
Dude,
4 decades ago.
He hasn't taken more risks than he has in his last 5 years. Where? Are you talking? He's talking about the contracts. He's talking about the contract because he hasn't given these big ass contracts. Of course, anytime else, because that's how the cap works. That keeps going up every year. So guess what? Every team takes risks. Guess what? Dak, week 1, when he got his new contract, could have blown out his knee and he's gone. His career's gone. Guess what? That's a risk. It is. Any player can get hurt any given time. Deshaun Watson did it in non-contact, got hurt when he first got to Cleveland, and then he did it again this offseason. Like, it happens.
When we say risk, we're talking about free agency.
Yeah.
That's what we mean. All the other stuff is bullshit. All the other stuff is
you make a trade. Yeah, or you make a trade or something. You're trying to get better. Or guess what? You go hire Ben Johnson. He's never been a head coach. He could be great. Or he burns out in 3 years. And you're like, oh, well, Chicago's back looking for a head coach, and Caleb Williams is looking to get his new contract done. So we're going to try to see who wants to deal with that.
He doesn't risk money on things to improve this team outside of the team. That's risk, and he doesn't use it. He doesn't do it.
We have Ben Johnson at home and Brian Schottenheimer. Because guess what? Schottenheimer's never been a head coach. What if he's the next great thing? He could. We don't know. But am I going to try to go out and just believe that? No. I'm tired of being too optimistic. I really am. And the Joneses are the problem with that. They have, football's been my number one love for a long time now. And they're making me hate it. They are. I love the Cowboys. I love talking with y'all. Dude, I'm going to go just talk Rangers the next, 8 months.
I can't blame you there.
My cousin and I have gone to 3 Cowboy games this year, and I had a blast with her. If you were going there, do you want to watch competitive football? You shouldn't have gone.
For real.
And it's
they got annihilated at home.
And it's just the Joneses. It's like, dude, you can't blame anyone but yourself because there hasn't been change in over 30 years. So you can't point fingers, name names. Like, oh, well, yeah, they were giving shit to McCarthy this press conference. They were subtly hitting shots at McCarthy. But I thought, you said the same thing about Garrett. Oh, McCarthy's gonna do this. If you have the same complaints for every person, if you're multiple ex-girlfriends, if you think all have the same problem, is that more about them, or is that about you?
Yeah.
Is that not,
seems like you're picking the same. You're picking the same people with the same issues,
or you only see the same problem. They can have great other qualities, but you see that one flaw that just burns you. And you're like, you know what? No, this guy's so much. But dude, Schottenheimer, he's so smart. Look at him. He's so great. He's a tempo baby, just like how Steven is. Look, they're going to be best buddies. Clarence Hill had to ask a question twice to get Jared to answer.
And they never really answered it, honestly.
Nope. And you can tell, I said this on Twitter. I respect a lot of people. I'm telling you, the Joneses are going to get their writers to try to put Patrick Nosey Walker and Jane Slater down. They're going to be like, oh, they're not credible. How can it be? You know why? Because they ask questions that the Joneses think that no one will ask.
And they word them correctly to where they can't steer the answer easily.
Yeah.
It takes more work to steer the answer to their generic, the pie and the da-da-da-da-da bullshit.
But like I said this to on Twitter, it's all respectfully. Like they look so damn professional. Like when they're asking this stuff, completely calm demeanor and just going straight to the point. And they're like, how could you ask this? How could you do this? Our writers would never do this. They would never, like, I pay your salary. No, you don't. You don't. You sell the team tomorrow. Guess what? Patrick Nosey Walker still has a job. It's so stupid. Well, that felt great. This is probably by far my longest Brenden's bashing, but it felt good.
We didn't have Paul here. You know, Paul's really long-winded, takes up a lot of time. So
yeah. Yes, because Paul is the talker out of us three. Oh, dude, this is gonna be a shit show for 3 years. I said we're gonna make the playoffs and we'll lose.
It's gonna be the same thing. Win 9 to 12 games, lose early in the playoffs.
But we won't have we won't have a home game this year in the playoffs. Like we won't win the division, and we'll win. We'll beat the really awful NFC South. Whoever wins that shit, and you're like, wow, we did it. We're in the division. Look at this. It's gonna be Dan Quinn all over again with Washington, and then you get your ass beat by a team who has the 3 seed, and then you're done. And we're right back here saying, how can this team actually get better when they won't spend money?
Yeah.
One word. Philly going to their 3rd Super Bowl in 8 years is blank.
Informative. Learn from them. It's telling you how to do this. Learn. It's informative.
I just said gross. Like, no one wanted that. I felt weird rooting for Washington because still in the end, I would have been rooting for KC because I don't want, of course, anyone in our division to win. You're weird as hell. You're weird as hell if you want that. Like, But like, I was wanting Washington to win, and then it's like, oh, you're not made to be here.
Yeah, they were a year or 2 early for that game.
They're 2 years early at least. Like, hey, you beat Detroit, you beat the 1 seed, and then you went into Tampa also and you won. Good on you, man. I have nothing but respect for that. But yeah, no.
If Detroit was healthy, they'd have did the same thing Philly did.
All right. Prospect review. Xavier Restrepo.
All right, so Restrepo is from Miami. Wow, yeah. Miami. Here's the thing about Xavier Restrepo. Everything you want in a receiver on the field. So route running, creating separation, the ability to find a hole, great hands. Like he does all the wide receiver stuff really, really well. The issue is he does none of the trait stuff well. He's 5'10". He's a 5th-year senior. He's going to be 23, I believe, by the time the season starts. Not fast, quick, but not fast. Not long. He doesn't have a lot of length. So it's hard to see him going before the 3rd, 4th round because as good as he is at being a receiver, he's never going to be the special guy because he doesn't have the traits. Imagine he's like a Cole Beasley, but stockier. He's short, but he's not small. He's like 205, 200 chip. Like he can, take a hit. He stays on balance with hits too, which is nice for a slot receiver. I don't see him for Dallas. He's a slot only guy. He's not winning outside. He's not beating press outside. Slot only guy doesn't really work with Lamb. You at least have to have some chance, like Ibuka would or Burden would, to move outside and do some things. But if you don't have the length, you don't have the speed, you don't have the outside releases like he does with the 2-way goes in the slot, it just isn't. I don't think he works here. I think he'll get drafted. I think what's going to happen is a team is going to get a good receiver in day 3, like the beginning of day 3. People are going to look at their board after day 2 overnight and go, wow, Restrepo's still there, man. We could put him in, put him in the slot here. And he could be a, 600-700 yard, 3-4 touchdown guy. that will move the chains and do what you need to do. But I don't see him in Dallas. I don't think he fits.
Well, don't worry. We can draft him in round 4. Oh, wait. Oh,
gross.
Sorry, my bad. My bad on that one. No.
I like Mingo too. Just it should have cost you a
No. Mine is more about. I know it's still from last year, but like you go from wasting your 4th round pick on a quarterback you don't play, and then you waste your pick on a wide receiver you didn't really play.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. Well, prospect preview. I cannot say this last name. That is impossible for me. I'm not gonna butcher him. It's his first name's Princely. He's the edge from Ole Miss.
I know who it is. I've already researched him, so we're good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, he's about to be an
NFL player. You gotta do like Botch. Princely from Ole Miss, edge from Ole Miss.
I love Botch, dude. He's so fucking awesome.
He's a goat.
Dude, this team does not deserve the creators. I'm not even saying like us. I'm talking like bigger name creators. They don't deserve them at all.
Yeah.
Like Brian Broaddus, Botch. You got Skywalker Steele. Of course. Yeah, Patrick No-C Walker.
Yeah.
You got Human, dude. Oh my god. Like they don't deserve any of this.
They don't.
Yeah, okay, let's go to something positive. Okay, so we have our top 5. I have no idea. I have a feeling we might have done this one before. If we have, well damn. We're doing it again. But it's top 5 if you could only eat at 5 restaurants the rest of your life. Which ones would you choose? Mike, what's number 5?
Okay, I'm going to surprise y'all because I'm bougie, but I'm going to put In-N-Out, the only fast food one on my top 5. But it's funny because I only go there like twice a year because I don't eat fast food. As fat as I look, I really don't eat it. But In-N-Out, when I'm going to Disneyland, like either on the way there or on the way back, I typically get it. And I'll get it once or twice, maybe a year while I'm here. But like to represent fast food, if I'm going to have the In-N-Out would be up there. I would not get their fries, but I love their burgers and their shakes. So I'll definitely get a double and kill it.
Yeah, my top 5 and yours is going to be so different. It's going to be really funny. It's going to be really funny. I'm a college kid and Mike's a full-blown adult. But so my first one, I don't really eat fast food right now either because I'm just trying to not be fat. I'm trying to work on that. So I've gone for number 5, Wendy's, because that's my favorite food as a kid. Their crispy chicken nuggets and a Frosty, never turn that down. I'll only go there. And if someone says, if it's their idea to go get Wendy's, I'll say, hell yeah. But it would never be like, oh, hey, we should go to Wendy's. Like, we should go do that. Or I'm going by myself. I can't. I'll feel terrible about myself. But it's Wendy's. Like, I ate that so much as a kid. I've eaten that 21 years of my life.
When I ate fast food, Wendy's was a go-to. Wendy's was legit.
They're nuggets. Like when they're fresh, brother, that is so good, so crispy.
I used to eat the chili a lot, and then a friend of mine worked there and was like, not the chili, bro. And I said, cool, all right. And I never ate the chili again, and I passed that on to anyone that says we're going to Wendy's. I just say, not the chili.
My dad ate that for years. Every time we went there, that's everything he got. So he seems to be doing fine. So
no more chili from Wendy's for him.
All right, number 4 on your list.
Number 4 on my list is a place called Paradise Garden Grill. I know a lot of people, what is that? It is a restaurant at Disney's California Adventure. Why is it on my list? One, if I'm having it every day, then I am at Disneyland every day, which I love, which is why it made the list. But I was looking through because I wanted a spot in Disneyland, That was probably my favorite one, and it's because they switch the menus every couple of months. It's not the same thing. Lunar New Year right now, they're serving Chinese, beef and broccoli, dan noodles, stuff like that. And as the year goes on, when they go to Food and Wine, they'll do something a little bit more bougie. When it goes into the Star Wars time and Pixar, they'll do different menus for that. So I love that they switch it up, and it always hits. Like I've never went there and got something and been like, Like they do a good job of putting that menu together. So, yeah, Paradise Garden Grill, Disneyland California Adventure.
Actually, I'm sorry. I forgot. Since Paul this was a last minute thing, he couldn't come on, which not his fault. Not expressing the other, but he does have his top 5 list. I did totally forget that. I'm sorry, Paul, but his number 5 was Cheesecake Factory. Expensive, but have you seen their menu? What? Hey, I respect it. Dude, those cheesecakes and all that stuff.
Yeah, their menu's legit. Their orange chicken, weirdly, is pretty freaking good too. Like,
have you had their chicken and waffles?
I don't think I have.
Dude, it's surprisingly good. Like, I went there with my with lunch with my mom one time, and I got that. I felt like ass because I ate it really fast, but like, it was actually pretty darn good. And number 4 on Paul's list is, the hell, it's like salsa limon. I think that's how you're gonna say it. That's how I guess how you say it. I'm not living the rest of my life without breakfast burritos. I respect that.
I respect that.
Yeah, I completely respect that. Number 4 on my list is Soul Man's. It's a local barbecue place, and their barbecue sauce, dude. Like, I love all barbecue sauce. I do. That stuff is crack. Like, seriously, it's the best dipping sauce. My dad will make healthier chicken. I'll still dip it in barbecue sauce. Like, it's so good. Their chopped beef is good. Their pulled pork is good. You know, it's got my parents sick sometimes, but that happens.
Rich food to do that.
And then their ribs. Ooh, it's that good shit, man.
I love soul food sides. I love collard greens, mac and cheese, banana pudding, cornbread.
It's mainly barbecue, though. Soul Man's is mainly barbecue.
Do they not have mac and cheese greens and green beans with bacon and tomatoes and cornbread? They don't have that?
I think they have most of that, but like, you're talking to a very picky person, so I don't ever look at that. Bro. I go right to the meat, man. I go that in the barbecue sauce, make myself a sandwich.
You're killing me. And use Kinder's barbecue sauce, guys. It starts with not high glucose corn syrup. Starts with tomato paste. So if you're buying it at the store, it's a little more expensive, but get Kinder's. It's better, and it's made with not like basically syrup.
Mike goes bougie. Shocker.
Kinder's is bomb, man. My brother chef got me to start with Kinder's.
All right, number 3 on your list.
Number 3 is Annex Kitchen. It's a local place. I go there for they have a Fresno State corn agnolotti that is amazing that they only do when Fresno State's in season. They also do specific dinners like $110 with a prix menu where they have the courses set for you and you just come in and eat it. And man, they do mostly Italian, but it's so good, but it's expensive spot, but it's nice. I'd eat there every day if I could.
I told you this off show because that's how I read it, but I love that. This is how Paul wrote this. I love it so much. For his number 3, he wrote Joe's Pizza and Pasta. I wanted to put Olive Garden, but didn't want Mike to bully me.
I would have. I mean, I guess I have In-N-Out on there. It's a fast food place. It's not like, so I can't get mad. Olive Garden, the free breadsticks, free, like, I think they have like pasta, like you can get different pastas unlimited or soups or whatever and breadsticks all the time. Like, I mean, I can't hate on that. It's cool. It's not, you know.
Well, in his defense, you have bullied us on several of our top 5s.
What, a frozen pizza? Like, y'all have something.
Dude, hey, you don't know it, dude. When that episode comes, you're gonna see Mike look all disgusted before it. Like, he's gonna look like he's about to eat legit dog shit, and it's gonna be like, and then you're gonna see like a light go like flicker in his eye. And you're
no, like, I'm gonna take a bite and go, it's all right. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like, it's pizza. It's still pizza. It's just pizza. Dude. I eat like. Wait till you hear the next one on my list. You'll see.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Like he's gonna look all. How much SpongeBob have you watched? Like,
what is your number 3?
No, I got like. Let me make the damn thing. It's like when Squidward didn't like want to try a Krabby Patty at all. He didn't. Like he thought they were all stupid, and he took a little nibble, and then everything just blew up in his mind. He still acted like he didn't like it, and we're gonna see you eat like 3 more later. That's what's gonna happen.
You are not gonna see me eat frozen pizza like that.
Okay. My number 3 is Pei Wei because I love their chicken fried rice. You get that with like big chunks of chicken with their really nice fried egg. Like that's, of course, it's nothing fancy, but like
it gets. They put a fried egg on it.
No, it's like they break it up.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but no, it's great. No, it's really good. Oh, some of the this makes me think of Korean barbecue, and I didn't think of any Korean barbecue places to put on my list. That
Korean
sucks.
Barbecue is elite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my list is now invalid. I'm sorry, but I don't have one on the top of my head. But no, dude, the egg over there. It's sometimes it's not even that good, but it's still really filling, and it's always just a good thing to go to. If like my parents are home, I'm like, well, damn, I'm hungry. I just end up ordering Pei Wei. Number 2 on your list.
Number 2 is Anesso's Pizzeria. The owners of NX Kitchen, the people who made that, the kitchen people and everything, opened up Anesso's Pizzeria also. It is elite pizza. It's expensive. It's like $20 for like a small basically, but they just have one size. But the food is so good there, and you don't have to get pizza. Like their pesto chicken sandwich is amazing. Their burrata with they just have burrata with like sauce and bread or with polenta. It's elite. Anesso's is like one of those places you travel to a place to try. I love Anesso's Pizzeria. It's so good.
Paul's number 2 is Whataburger, but his reasoning is honestly it makes so much sense to this. So this is the only food like we could eat, but it's open 24/7 and it does have an elite patty melt. I didn't think about being open 24/7. I didn't think about that. Like you can always go there no matter what. All my places closed. Like that's a really smart move.
I do have to say, as a California guy, I never got involved in the In-N-Out Whataburger discussion because I had never tried Whataburger. But when I went to Florida on the way, we stopped DFW, and while we were in Texas, 20-hour layover, we were able to get Whataburger, and it wasn't as good as In-N-Out. It's not bad. It's not like, oh my God, this is horrible. But like In-N-Out Burger clears it a lot. Now, Whataburger has way better sides. I tried like 3 of them. Whataburger has way better sides. But if I'm just going for a burger, yeah, In-N-Out clears a lot. So now I could give that opinion since I tried both.
I'm a Texas boy. I'm Whataburger through and through. That's what at Globe Life I call it the Mecca. They have a Whataburger in there now.
Did you try an In-N-Out?
Yeah, it's fine.
As long as you tried both.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna be those people like, oh, this is so much better. Do you know what the other one is? No, but this one has to be. No, that's not how it works. But I can't. Mine is Pie 5. It's where you can create your own pizzas and stuff.
Pieology style.
Dude, they come out with this new one. Well, actually, these two will go together. My 1 and 2, with this hot honey pizza. Oh my Lord, dude, it that's so good. Like the smell just makes me want to die while I'm trying to come back home, because it just smells so freaking good. As a nice little kick, nothing crazy. Like it's not a crazy kick at all, but a nice little kick. But it's super sweet, and you have that on your pepperoni and all that stuff too. It's a game changer.
I make hot honey, and I put that on my pizza. I will be putting hot honey on the Red Baron. I promise you.
I respect the hell out of that. You see, you're trying to sell yourself on it. Like, look at this.
No, I'm saying like I put that on good pizza. I'm definitely putting it on a frozen one to make it better. I take Calabrian chilies and honey and just mix it up and drizzle it.
Yeah. Well, of course, you got to keep your streak going with putting it on good pizza. What's number 1 on your list?
Heirloom. Heirloom is a farm to table type place. They have this dish called mushroom taquitos. that I could eat forever for the rest of my life. It's vegetarian. I'd eat it every day. But they have really good. Just the thing about them is their menu changes, but it's always like fresh in seasoned ingredients and stuff. But the mushroom chiquitos are year round. So that's the one I always think of and get. But like I've had their fried rice there. It was really good. And I think they had a flatbread once. I've had their burger there. Man, there's another one that's a cauliflower dish, and I can't remember what they put on it. But it's just a roasted cauliflower dish. And it is phenomenal. So Heirloom, I legitimately would go to every single day and eat with that because you can get something like a Nesso's. You're getting Italian food. This place you can get a different type of thing every day, and their menu changes with the seasons. So, yeah, Heirloom's my top.
Number one for Paul is called Thai-licious. I think that's what it says.
Thai food.
Yeah, so he said it's the hardest choice, but of all the Asian cuisine, Thai won because of curry soup. I've never had that, so I cannot make a judgment call on that one.
Spicy. Curry soup is spicy, and it's curry's like craveable. I mean, I guess there's some people that don't like curry, but curry's like craveable. It's something that like you taste so much stuff and so savory and spicy and everything, you want to keep going back to it. But I don't know if picky eaters don't really like curry.
I've gotten less picky over time. I've done pretty well over the past 3 years. Like it's just baby steps, man. It's just baby steps. But my number one is Wingstop. And it's because dude, if you told me all these 5 things and I couldn't have wings for any sporting event, I would go insane. Like big time games and all that. Like, what are you gonna do? Because you know what they have now? Hot honey rub wings. And it is the best wing I've ever had.
Hot honey's elite.
I'm so upset that I'm so late to this. But yeah, you're completely correct. It's so damn good. It just makes everything better. And it's a rub too, so it's not really messy. It's a win-win. Really great flavor, and it's not dirty. So of course I need that for any sporting event. Or if you're watching a long TV show, you're binging, go get some wings. Well, we are almost at an hour and 10 minutes. I completely blame myself for that, for my long ass rant, but it did feel good getting all the guests.
I had a couple ones too.
But before we get out of here, Mike, where can we find you?
CD Piglet, guys, nice and easy. You
can find Paul at Paul_Ryan15, and you can find me at Brenden_Smith26. And that's it. Thanks for coming on.
Have a good one, guys.